Hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for tuning in and following me on my GLP-1 journey. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm coming on today to share my experience titrating from 7.5 to 10 milligrams on the medication Zepbound. I have been on the medication Zepbound since April of last year in 2024. It is now 2025. I'm coming on, it's a little more than 10 months, I'll say it that way, because we're early into the month of March. So it'll be 11 months in a few weeks, and then next month in April it'll be 1 year that I've been taking the GLP-1 medication and taking Zepbound as well. If you are not familiar with my journey, I have not always been on the medications Zepbound. I started off on not GLP-1, sorry. I started on the semaglutide first, and then eventually I moved on to the Zepbound, which was not soon after starting the semaglutide. I went over to the Zepbound once I had that conversation with my doctor, and she prescribed the medication for me. So it has not always been Zepbound, but most of my GLP-1 journey has been taking the medication, the Zepbound medication, as you may tell by the videos on my channel. So if you're not familiar with that, and you are new to this journey, I would encourage you to go back and watch some of those early videos that I recorded in my journey. I did not start recording videos right away when I started this journey. I was hesitant about sharing this journey with the World Wide Web. So I waited months into my journey before I started recording videos and share my experience, but I do go back and share what my experience is starting from the beginning of the journey. So if you are new to this journey or interested in taking this medication, I would highly recommend or encourage you to go back and watch those videos. And I have also put most of them into playlists. So if you are interested in what I experienced on 2.5, you can go watch that playlist, 5 milligrams. And I think I did the 7.5. If not, I will add that playlist after I get done filming this video when I'm editing or in my channel. I also will do a playlist for the 10 milligrams that I had been taking as well. So that can be on a playlist as well for those who are interested in my experience on the 10 milligrams dose. So with all of that out of the way now, let's get on to my experience titrating from 7.5 to the 10 milligrams dose. So I took the 10 milligrams dose for 3 months. I took my last maybe 10 milligram shot 2 weeks ago, almost. Yep, 2 weeks ago. I think it was week 44. Should have had that ready. Let me look. I'm just going into my Shotzi app to take a look. If you aren't familiar with that app, this is a great app for those of us who are on the GLP-1 medication to keep track of our medication, weight, nutrition. It tracks quite a few things on here. So it was week 45, sorry. So week 45 is when I took the last shot of the 10 milligrams dose for the 3 months that I was taking it. It is now 2 weeks past that time now, almost. Actually, yeah, 2 weeks, coming up on 3 weeks in a couple days since I've taken that last shot. So I feel like I have a full experience of the 10 milligrams, so I can come on and give you guys the information that I think that you guys might want to have. So I do have some notes here, so I'm looking down because I have my phone here, and I want to make sure that I touch base on all the things that I feel like is important to share on these kind of videos. So first things first I have on my list here is when I started taking the 10 milligrams coming from the 7 milligram or 7.5 milligram dose of the Zepbound, I do remember the injections feeling stronger. It's like I felt the medication when I was injecting. And again, if you aren't familiar with my journey, I rotate injection sites. I do left and right of my belly, usually around the lower belly side, and then left and right thigh as well. And I just rotate week over week, the 4 area. So when I started in my tummy, because that's typically how it goes, because that's how I started on the journey. So anytime I start a new box, I'm usually back on my stomach on the right side here. And I just remember like feeling it, like, ooh, I could feel the medication when it went in. So it did really feel stronger. And another thing for those who aren't familiar, I was a little nervous going into the 10 milligrams dose because I knew that it was a strong medication. I wasn't really happy about taking the 10 milligrams dose. I really wanted to stay on the 7.5 because it was working for me, but my insurance would not allow me to take the 7.5 more than 1 month. So that's why I had to move up to the 10 milligrams, because I was starting to stall on the 5 milligrams dose. So it was important that I started to move up. Otherwise, I was not going to see any more progress taking Zepbound while on this journey. So that's why I ended up having to go up to the 10 milligrams dose, but I was not a fan of it. I was really, really nervous going up to that 10 milligrams dose because I knew it was a stronger medication, or dose of the medication, I should say. And I just was nervous and scared about the side effects, to be completely honest. And I've shared when I moved from the 2.5 to the 5 milligrams, I did have some side effects. I talked about that on that titration video if you haven't seen that yet. So I was just nervous about experiencing those side effects again on an even stronger dose. So yeah. So that's the first thing that I noticed when taking this medication was the injections. The medication did feel stronger going in. And it wasn't just that first time. I think it was the first 3 or 4 times that I felt that before it started to feel like a regular injection day for me on the 10 milligrams dose. So second thing I have listed here is the side effects. So we're going to get right into that. So I have 3 side effects listed here that I experienced on this journey. And I also talked about on my weekly videos if you're interested in seeing those. So the first thing I'll mention is the heartburn that I experienced. I had not experienced heartburn like that ever in my life. And I tried taking some of the, I guess, common remedies, which would be the Tums. I did try that. And it would help for a period of time, but then it would come right back. And as I shared in one of my weekly videos, someone ended up mentioning to me, actually it was one of my children, ended up mentioning to me taking mustard, like I had done for them, I'm sure, at some point in their life. So I took the mustard, and that helped clear out the heartburn for me. And I want to say for at least a day. I think I had to take it 2 times maybe during that week. But that was the only thing that would help remedy the heartburn that I was experiencing while experiencing that on that week or 2, because the Tums were not really helping remedy the heartburn. It would go away, and then it would just come right back. So mustard, if you're experiencing heartburn on this journey and you're not finding relief on some of the common medications, I would encourage you, if you're not allergic, obviously, to take some mustard and see if that helps for your heartburn. I know there's some other things that they have that you can take. I don't have them listed, or I can't think of them off the top of my head. But if I find them, I'll put them somewhere here on the screen that you can also take. Some like natural, I guess I should say, remedies, opposed to some of the medications that you can buy over the counter for heartburn. So that was number 1 for side effects that I have listed here. Number 2 is nausea. Like, I had not been so nauseous in my life. I wasn't even that nauseous when carrying my children while I was pregnant. Like, it was so bad. Like, I didn't even want to look at food or drinks or anything. I would just feel sick. Now, I will say I did not throw up at all. It was just the nausea feeling, but it was like right there, like right here. Like, I felt it all in my throat. Like, it was so bad. Like, I had never experienced that. And I ended up doing ginger tea to help remedy that as well. Now, that is something that I kind of, especially at the beginning, I want to say the first month, I would say, of taking the 10 milligrams dose, I experienced the nauseousness. So taking that or drinking that ginger tea was very, like, I had to take it a lot. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but it was something that I had to take more than once, a few times, multiple times, to help to combat the nauseousness that I was experiencing while starting this 10 milligrams dose. I'm trying. Peppermint tea is another one that I've heard that also helps with it too. I did not try peppermint tea. The ginger tea that I tried worked. It helped, so I just stuck with that. And that helped with the remedy. I think with that, especially the first week I started feeling the nausea, I lost 8 pounds in 1 week. And it made sense because I promise you, I barely ate anything during the week because I just couldn't. I felt like if I was going to put something in, it was just going to come right back out. And I don't like to throw up. I know most people probably don't, but I'm just saying that's why I think I didn't really eat anything, because I just felt so nauseous. I just I was scared to put anything in because I felt like it was just going to come right back out. So I lost a total of 8 pounds the first week that I started experiencing nauseousness. And then I want to say, I don't even think the ginger tea, maybe I did find that the first week I started feeling nauseous. It wasn't the week after that. So, but it was a few days. Like I thought it would just, because I had experienced some nausea on this journey throughout, and it's just like mild here and there. Then it just kind of subsides, it goes away. But this one was not going away on its own. I had to do something about it. Otherwise, I was just going to be feeling sick until I don't know when. So ginger tea was my saving grace for combating the nauseousness while starting the 10 milligrams dose on the Zepbound journey. Next, I have fatigue. Now, I wish I could say that started to go away after the first month, the first 2 weeks, but it did not at all. I experienced fatigue for the entire time that I took the 10 milligrams dose. Now, I will say, I think it maybe got lighter over the weeks, but I could not. And I've experienced fatigue throughout this journey. And then I started taking my medication at night closer to bedtime to get some rest in order to help combat the fatigue. And that helped, especially on the 5 milligrams dose. And I didn't really experience it on the 7.5 either, but this 10 milligrams was kicking my tail. Even taking it at night, it still wasn't really enough. I just felt like the next day a couple times, because I take my shots on Thursdays and on Fridays is when I was just so tired. Like I remember 1 or maybe 2 weeks of taking the shot on Friday. I just had no energy until like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I literally was just on the couch because I couldn't do anything. I had no energy. So that's one of the biggest side effects, I guess I should say, on the 10 milligrams dose that I experienced. I take, like I said, taking it at night didn't really help. I just tried different things to try to help, but I just couldn't get past it. It just wasn't helping. And even when I wasn't like sleepy per se, experiencing the fatigue, it was just, it would zap my energy. Like I explained in one of the videos previously, it's like, I felt I felt in being pregnant in the first trimester where you just have no energy. You can't do, you want to get up and like do things and be active, but your body is like, no. That's how it felt. And that's how I felt on this journey when it came to the fatigue. So I would recommend making sure you drink plenty of water. That helps with that too. And I actually add some liquid IV to my water a couple days a week to stay hydrated as well. That helps as well. But yeah, just if you're going into the 10 milligrams dose, do some research and see what you can do to help with the fatigue. Because for me, it got really real, and it was hard for me to get over that on the 10 milligrams dose. So those are my 3 side effects that I have here. So heartburn, the nausea, and the fatigue for sure. So, I have here the huge weight loss as well. So I did mention that I had lost 8 pounds in 1 week. I did not see that number again while on this journey, which is great. I was not trying to lose 8 pounds in a week every week. That would have been way too much, in my opinion, for me personally. So it did start to go down, and it started to go back down to an average number. And my average kind of changes week over week. And on the Shotzi app, if you aren't familiar, it gives you the average of and right now my weekly average is 1.3. It usually stays between 1.5 and 1.6 is my average since I've been on this journey on the GLP-1 medication. So it did start to go down, and I was seeing a little over 1 pound a week here and there, but I did not see that big drop on the 10 milligrams or that week I had for the 8 pounds that I saw that 1 week. So another thing, lastly, I wanted to mention, and I guess I probably should have put this in the side effects, but this was something separate I wanted to just share with you guys that I experienced on the 10 milligrams dose. Now, when I started this journey on 10 milligrams, I did notice that my hair started to shed more. So the only thing I could, I guess, blame it on in a sense is the 10 milligrams medication. I didn't know that hair loss was a side effect, or is a side effect on this journey. I had not experienced it over time, and I had been on the journey for some months before I started the 10 milligrams dose, and I hadn't experienced it. So I will recommend keeping track of that if you are on this journey anyway, but I didn't experience it until I was taking the 10 milligrams dose of the medication. Now, I do take things to help keep my hair strong, and that wasn't enough after a while, I guess. So I do take collagen. I usually drink that in my coffee Monday through Friday. Typically, I don't usually put in my coffee on the weekends. And then I do sea moss. And then I had to get back to taking my biotin vitamins as well. So that helped. I noticed that once I started taking my biotin vitamins again, that the shedding did decrease, and it got better. So now I just have to wait for my hair to, you know, get back stronger and grow some more. Like, my ponytail is kind of thin back there. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention that happened while taking this 10 milligrams dose, was some hair shedding, or hair loss, I guess I should say. So just a little tidbit of information just to let you know to look out for, and you know, do your research and see what supplements that you can take to help combat that. Because you know, for those of us who have, you know, hair, we want to keep our hair and we want to keep it healthy. So that's something to consider when taking this medication, for sure. And I did know that. I just had not experienced it until I started taking the 10 milligrams of the Zepbound medication. So yeah, that is my full experience. I want to, and I apologize, I didn't have this set up before I started filming this video. I just want to give you guys the total weight loss while on this journey. Let's see. Okay, so for the total weight loss while taking the 10 milligrams dose, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, I took this medication for 3 months. That means 3 boxes. It has 4 pens. So the total weight loss that I had is 20.2 pounds on the 10 milligrams dose. I started at 179.2, and my last weigh-in when I took my last shot was 159 pounds. So that is the total weight loss on this medication. And I'm just checking my notes again because I want to make sure I have everything covered. Okay, so yeah, that's what I have to share. Oh, I did not mention the food suppression. I did mention, you know, the nausea and me not really eating a lot during that experience as well. But yes, I did experience more food suppression on this journey. Once I got past the nausea, I was able to eat like the normal amount like I have been eating on this journey. So it was just a couple weeks that I experienced like more food suppression than the normal amount. But then once I got past that, I was able to get back to eating like normal, which I believe is the reason why my weight loss started to get back to the average as well. So that's another thing to consider as well when it comes to titrating, and from any dose to any dose anyway, is the food suppression, because that is what helps on this journey for sure. For sure. So yeah, that is my experience titrating from the 7.5 milligrams to the 10 milligrams dose on the Zepbound medication. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope this has been helpful information for you as well. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel and join me on my journey. Thumbs up the video as well, and share if you think this information will be helpful for someone else. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.